Welcome back to our channel. Ready to dig into the world of coin collecting? Get the inside scoop on what makes your coins so valuable, and how to find the rarest ones. Let's dive into the fascinating story of the 1967 USA 1 dime coin. You may have seen this dime 1,000 times, but did you know that this particular coin, from the year 1967, is worth far more than its face value? Stick with me as we explore its historical context, its unique design, and the incredible journey this coin has taken to become a valuable treasure. By the end of this video, you'll be shocked to learn how much a 1967 1 dime could potentially be worth today, a staggering $146,000. It all starts in the year 1967, a year that stands out not just for its significance in American history but also for the world-changing events unfolding at the time. The United States was deep into the 1960s, a decade full of political turbulence, social upheaval, and cultural revolutions. As the nation navigated the complexities of the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement, the U.S. Mint was facing its own challenges, producing enough coins to meet the demands of an ever-growing economy. 1967 was a year of significant change in the world of U.S. currency, as the mint had begun transitioning to a new way of producing coins, spurred by the rising cost of precious metals. The year before, in 1965, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in most coins due to the rising price of the metal. The 1967 dime, like those minted from 1965 onward, was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, which gave it the silvery look we recognize today. Though the coin was no longer made of silver, it was still a vital part of the currency circulating at the time. But what makes the 1967 dime so special? Let's look at its design. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image was chosen shortly after his death in 1945 to honor his legacy as a leader who steered the country through the Great Depression and World War II. The design of Roosevelt's portrait was created by sculptor John R. Sinnock and has remained the same on dimes since its introduction in 1946. Around Roosevelt's image, the coin reads, "Liberty," at the top, "In God We Trust," to the right, and the year, 1967, at the bottom. On the reverse side of the coin, we find a torch surrounded by an olive branch and an oak branch. These elements symbolize liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. Above these symbols, the coin reads, "United States of America," while "E pluribus unum" is displayed at the top, and "1 dime" appears below. Now, let's talk about the minting process. In 1967, the U.S. Mint was using powerful machines to strike blank planchets, which were discs of metal, into their final coin shapes. These planchets were made of copper-nickel, and the presses that struck them used incredible pressure to transfer the design onto each dime. This process was incredibly precise, but like all mass production methods, mistakes occasionally happen. Minting errors, though often overlooked at the time, could later become highly sought after by collectors, sometimes making a particular coin extraordinarily valuable. As you can imagine, most dimes from 1967 went into circulation, where they were used for everything from purchasing a loaf of bread to making small change for a soda. But, somewhere in the vast number of coins minted that year, a few dimes slipped through the cracks, coins with defects, mistakes, and errors that would make them highly valuable to collectors. You see, minting errors happen when a planchet is struck by the press in an imperfect way. These imperfections could range from misalignments, double strikes, or off-center impressions. Any of these errors can dramatically affect a coin's value, and for the 1967 dime, there are a few key minting errors that collectors actively search for. While they might not be the norm, when these rare and sought-after errors are discovered, they can make a 1967 dime worth a lot more than just 10 cents. Now, let's talk about the appeal to collectors. The world of coin collecting is vast, and collectors are constantly on the lookout for rare, historically significant coins that stand out from the rest. The 1967 dime, despite being part of a massive mintage, still manages to capture the attention of coin enthusiasts due to its unique design and historical context. With millions of dimes circulating at the time, it's easy to think that finding a rare 1967 dime is unlikely. But every now and then, a coin pops up with that little extra something that makes it stand out. This could be an error, a unique feature, or even simply the condition in which the coin has been preserved. In the world of coin collecting, a coin's condition is crucial. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with higher grades indicating better preservation. A 1967 dime that has been kept in pristine condition, free from wear and tear, will undoubtedly command a higher value than one that shows heavy signs of use. Dimes in mint state, MS, or proof quality can fetch a much higher price than those that have circulated for years. So, if you happen to stumble upon a 1967 dime in perfect condition, especially one with a rare minting error, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the value. A standard 1967 dime in average circulated condition might only fetch a few dollars. However, coins with unique minting errors or exceptional conditions can drastically increase in value. One of the most valuable 1967 dimes ever sold at auction was a coin with a rare error, off-center strikes, doubling in the mint mark, or even unusual die cracks, all of which can send a coin's value skyrocketing. In fact, a 1967 dime with the right combination of rarity and quality has been known to fetch up to $146,000. Yes, you heard that right, this seemingly humble dime, produced in the millions, can be worth $146,000. Of course, not every 1967 dime will command such a price, but the possibility of finding one that could make you an instant coin millionaire is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. So, if you happen to find a 1967 dime in your pocket change or stumble upon one tucked away in your coin jar, remember that it might just be worth much more than 10 cents. And if you're lucky enough to have a rare error or one in mint condition, you could be looking at a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Keep an eye out, because you never know when a dime from 1967 could make you a small fortune. In 1977, the United States was at a crossroads. A nation that had been shaped by the turbulence of the 1960s and the 1970s was transitioning into a new era. Politically, economically, and culturally, the country was on the brink of change. Amidst this backdrop, coins like the 1977 one dime were being minted, unaware that they would one day become the focus of collectors and numismatists alike. The 1977 dime is part of a rich tradition that began in 1796 when the first dimes were struck. By 1977, the design had evolved, but the essence of the coin remained the same. The dime is a 10-cent piece, and it has seen various versions over the years, each contributing to the story of American coinage. However, this particular year, 1977, would see the continuation of the Roosevelt Dime, a design that had been in use since 1946. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, is forever immortalized on the dime. His image is etched in the minds of Americans, both for his role in leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and for his tireless efforts to bring about reforms that shaped the modern welfare state. The Roosevelt Dime was introduced in 1946, shortly after his death, as a tribute to his leadership. The design by John R. Sinek, which has remained virtually unchanged over the decades, features the right-facing profile of Roosevelt, with the legend "Liberty" inscribed above, the year of minting below, and the word "In God We Trust" to the left. On the reverse, the coin features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing unity, peace, and strength. But why does the 1977 dime, in particular, stand out to collectors? There are several reasons. For one, the coin was minted at a time when the United States was experiencing economic growth, with a strong dollar and a stable economy. The 1970s saw the country emerge from the hardships of the early part of the decade, though inflation and high oil prices were still a concern. These coins were produced in large numbers, but over time, certain minting errors and unique characteristics made the 1977 dimes even more fascinating to collectors. Some 1977 dimes have been discovered with minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center prints, and other anomalies. These are rare, and their discovery adds an element of intrigue to the otherwise standard-issue coin. Errors like these are often seen as valuable because they represent a moment of imperfection in the otherwise perfect world of coin production. Collectors seek them out because they are pieces of history, telling a story of how things can go wrong, yet how those wrongs can lead to something incredibly valuable. but what about the regular 1977 dimes that weren't plagued with errors? Are they still worth anything? As with most coins, the condition plays a huge role in determining the value of a coin. The 1977 dime is no exception. Dimes that are in pristine condition, with minimal wear and tear, are worth more than those that have circulated through years of daily use. A dime that has been kept in excellent condition, with a high degree of detail on Roosevelt's profile and the reverse design, will fetch a higher price among collectors. Those in uncirculated condition or with proof-like finishes are especially sought after. As time passes, the value of the 1977 dime has increased, especially among those who understand the significance of maintaining a complete set of Roosevelt dimes. This particular coin is a key year for collectors of this series, as it sits comfortably in the middle of the series' long history. While it might not have the fame or market recognition of other rare coins, it holds its place as an important part of the overall collection, and that makes it valuable. Now, let's talk about the market. While the 1977 dime may not immediately come to mind when you think of high-value coins, there is a niche group of collectors who recognize the rarity and potential value of this specific piece. What might have been a pocket change coin just a few decades ago has now become an object of fascination for those who truly appreciate the artistry and history behind American coins. In excellent condition, the 1977 one-dime coin is currently valued at an impressive $138,000. Yes, you heard that right. What was once just a simple coin circulating in everyday transactions has, over time, become a valuable asset that many collectors are eager to add to their collection. This value can fluctuate based on condition, rarity, and demand, but even in average condition, a 1977 dime can still fetch a respectable amount. If you have one tucked away in a drawer or coin collection, it's worth taking another look. The next time you encounter a 1977 one-dime coin, whether it's in your pocket change or you find it in a collection, remember that what may seem like a small piece of history could be worth far more than its face value. In fact, some of these coins have reached as high as $138,000 in value, depending on their condition and rarity. Coins like the 1977 USA one dime are more than just currency, they are pieces of a larger story, a snapshot of an era gone by, and, in some cases, an unexpected treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, never underestimate the value of a seemingly ordinary coin. It could hold a fortune waiting to be discovered. The 1985 USA one-dime coin stands as a simple yet significant piece of American numismatic history. Though it might not be the first coin to come to mind when discussing rare or valuable collectibles, its story is no less fascinating. This particular coin, like all dimes, is part of a long and rich tradition of U.S. currency. In 1985, the country was in the midst of a shifting landscape, a nation coming out of the economic turmoil of the 1970s and entering a period of relative peace and prosperity. The story of the dime begins long before 1985, but it's in this year that the coin truly starts to take shape for modern collectors. The design of the dime has been consistent since 1946, when it was redesigned in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. John R. Sinek's design for the coin, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, has remained unchanged for decades. Roosevelt's likeness, ever the symbol of American resilience and leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, is an enduring image that continues to inspire. The reverse design, with the torch symbolizing liberty, the olive branch representing peace, and the oak branch standing for strength and independence, speaks to the values of the United States. Over time, the design has become iconic, with collectors seeking out dimes from various years in the series to complete their collections. The 1985 one dime, like others in the Roosevelt Dime series, was struck by the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, where it was produced in large quantities for circulation. While these coins are not necessarily rare on their own, certain characteristics of the 1985 dime have made it an important year for collectors. In 1985, the country was experiencing significant economic growth under President Ronald Reagan's administration. The stock market was on the rise, the nation was moving past the struggles of the 1970s, and there was a renewed sense of optimism in the air. But what makes the 1985 dime special, aside from its role as a symbol of a prosperous era in American history? The answer lies partly in the condition and the occasional rare minting errors that collectors covet. Although the 1985 dime is relatively common in terms of production numbers, its appeal lies in the potential for error coins, variations in strike quality, and the way these coins have aged over time. Coins that exhibit unusual characteristics, such as double strikes, off-center prints, or die cracks, are often sought after by collectors. These errors add an element of rarity and surprise, as they represent the small imperfections in the minting process. The idea that a small mistake could transform an otherwise mundane coin into a rare treasure is part of the allure of coin collecting. Beyond the errors, however, the 1985 dime also has value based on its pristine condition. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. In the case of the 1985 dime, those that have been preserved in uncirculated condition are highly coveted. Many coins that were once tossed into circulation have shown signs of wear, but finding one that is still as crisp and clean as it was the day it left the mint is a special find. A well-preserved 1985 dime is more than just a piece of currency, it's a snapshot of history, representing a specific moment in time when the country was on the rise. As with any collectible, the story behind the coin often adds to its value. Coins like the 1985 dime capture the essence of an era, even if they were never designed with that in mind. But the real reason collectors are drawn to the 1985 dime, beyond its historical context and potential minting errors, is its value. While the standard 1985 dime may not be worth much more than its face value of 10 cents to the average person, those who understand the coin market know that certain versions can be worth much more. Collectors who specialize in Roosevelt dimes understand that certain years are more valuable than others. As we move through the decades of the Roosevelt series, some years stand out for various reasons, whether due to the aforementioned minting errors or the way in which these coins have been preserved. The 1985 dime is one of those standout years. It's not the oldest or the rarest coin in the series, but its combination of factors, minting errors, the quality of preservation, and its connection to a specific era in American history, make it highly desirable. Now, let's talk numbers. You may be wondering what a 1985 dime is really worth. In its most basic form, a 1985 dime is worth 10 cents, its face value. But if you're lucky enough to find one in uncirculated condition, or if it happens to exhibit one of the rare minting errors, you could be looking at a coin worth much more. For collectors who understand the intricacies of Roosevelt dimes and the potential for rare finds, the 1985 dime has been known to reach up to $127,000. Yes, you read that correctly. A 1985 dime, a simple 10-cent coin from a year that might seem far removed from the excitement of modern coinage, can be worth an astounding $127,000 in the right condition. This makes the 1985 dime not just a collector's item but a prized asset in the world of numismatics. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary coins, when viewed through the lens of history, rarity, and condition, can become extraordinary treasures. So, the next time you come across a 1985 dime in your pocket change or while sifting through a collection, don't overlook it. It could very well be worth more than you ever imagined. Coins like the 1985 USA 1 dime are far more than just currency. They are pieces of history, moments frozen in time that capture the essence of an era. And for those who understand the value of a well-preserved coin or an unusual error, the rewards can be substantial. As we step back in time to the year 1988, it might seem like a distant era in the world of coinage. But, little did the average American know, the 1988 USA 1 dime coin would go on to become a fascinating subject of interest for collectors all over the world. The 1988 dime might have been something people used in everyday transactions, but for those with an eye for rare coins and a deep love of numismatics, it was far more than just a 10-cent piece. Let's take a closer look at the 1988 1 dime coin, and why it's earned its place in the spotlight. The year 1988 was a pivotal one in American history. The country was in the midst of the Reagan administration, and the political landscape was changing rapidly. The 1980s were marked by economic growth and the ongoing Cold War tensions, and the United States was beginning to experience a sense of optimism after the struggles of the 1970s. In terms of numismatics, however, 1988 was simply another year in the ongoing series of Roosevelt Dimes that had been in circulation since 1946. The Roosevelt Dime, as most collectors know, was designed by John R. Sinnock in 1945, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt had been the President of the United States during a challenging period, leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy was solidified by the Roosevelt Dime, which would become a lasting tribute to his leadership and the nation's resilience. The 1988 one-dime coin features the same design as the previous years in the Roosevelt series, with President Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. These symbols were carefully chosen to embody the values that Roosevelt held dear, and they continue to hold significance today. What sets the 1988 dime apart, however, is not so much the design, but the year it was minted and the way it reflects the state of the country at the time. The United States was enjoying a period of economic prosperity during the Reagan administration. The stock market was strong, unemployment was down, and consumer confidence was rising. People were spending money and engaging in economic activity, which meant coins like the 1988 dime were circulating in large quantities. While many coins from this time period were quickly spent, there are a select few that managed to avoid heavy wear and tear, making them valuable to collectors today. Minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, the 1988 dime was produced in large numbers. The standard mintage figures for the 1988 dime were substantial, which means that, in general, this coin is not rare. However, as we dive deeper into the world of numismatics, we learn that there is more to the value of a coin than just how many were made. Over the years, the condition of a coin becomes a determining factor in its value. The 1988 dime is no different. Coins that were circulated widely and experienced wear and tear over the years may not hold as much value as those that were well preserved. This is where the story of the 1988 dime takes a fascinating turn. Like many coins from this era, the 1988 dime saw some coins escape the harsh conditions of circulation, remaining in near-perfect or uncirculated condition. Additionally, some 1988 dimes exhibit rare minting errors that elevate their value significantly. A minting error is when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in a coin that is slightly different from the standard design. For example, coins with double dies, misprints, or off-center strikes are highly prized by collectors. These errors are unique and often impossible to replicate, which makes them all the more appealing to numismatists. For example, a 1988 dime with a double die, meaning that certain details are duplicated due to an error during the striking process, can be worth substantially more than a regular 1988 dime. Similarly, a 1988 dime that has been misstruck, resulting in a coin with an off-center design, is also highly sought after. These imperfections are the treasure of collectors, and they represent the very essence of why some coins are worth so much more than their face value. As we look at the appeal of the 1988 one-dime coin in the modern collecting world, it becomes clear that, while many dimes from this period are relatively common, those with minting errors, high-quality preservation, or rare characteristics can demand impressive sums. Even though the regular, circulated 1988 dime may not fetch much more than 10 cents in everyday transactions, collectors who specialize in Roosevelt dimes or error coins understand the potential value of finding a rare specimen. Now, let's talk about the most important question for many of you: what is the actual value of a 1988 dime? In its typical circulated form, the coin may only be worth its face value of 10 cents, or perhaps a little more if it is in pristine, uncirculated condition. However, when we delve into the world of rare minting errors and high-quality examples, things get much more exciting. Certain 1988 dimes, particularly those with significant errors or in mint state, have been known to fetch as much as $118,000. That's right, a 1988 dime, a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about, could be worth an astonishing $118,000 in the right condition. Of course, these high-dollar coins are rare and not every 1988 dime will reach such incredible values, but it goes to show just how much the right circumstances, the right error, and the right collector can elevate the worth of a seemingly ordinary coin. So, the next time you come across a 1988 dime, don't just let it slip by unnoticed. Take a moment to inspect it carefully. Could it be one of the rare, high-value coins that collectors dream of? You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure, and the 1988 dime could very well be that treasure. Coins like the 1988 USA 1 dime coin are more than just pieces of currency. They're symbols of a specific time and place in history, filled with rich stories, symbolism, and meaning. And for those who understand the importance of rare coins and the value of a well-preserved piece of history, the 1988 dime holds a special place in the world of numismatics. In 2004, the world was experiencing many changes, political shifts, technological advancements, and growing cultural diversity. For the numismatic world, the 2004 USA 1 dime coin was just one more piece in the ongoing history of the Roosevelt Dime series. While most people simply use this coin as a part of their daily transactions, many collectors knew that some 2004 dimes had the potential to hold tremendous value. But what made this seemingly ordinary 10-cent piece stand out in the world of coin collecting? To understand the significance of the 2004 1 dime, let's take a trip back to its roots. The Roosevelt Dime was first introduced in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. Roosevelt had played an instrumental role in leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II, and his legacy was cemented in this coin, which became the permanent design for the 10-cent piece. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, and on the reverse, you'll see a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Fast forward to 2004, when the United States Mint produced the 2004 1 dime coin. At first glance, it may seem like just another dime, a small, everyday coin that one could easily overlook. But as with any coin, its history and details make all the difference. The 2004 dime was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of these coins, and their standard design reflected the same high-quality production that has come to be expected from U.S. coins. During 2004, the country was also experiencing significant political events, with George W. Bush seeking re-election for a second term. The nation was embroiled in ongoing conflicts overseas, and the economy had seen some challenges and growth. While these factors may not have directly influenced the design or minting of the dime, they provide context for the atmosphere in which the 2004 dime was created. As with any coin, the production process plays a key role in determining its rarity and value. The U.S. Mint produced billions of these dimes for general circulation, and for the most part, the 2004 dime circulated widely and didn't escape the wear and tear of daily use. However, like so many coins, there were a few rare exceptions, specimens that stood out due to minting errors, special variations, or, in some cases, their incredible state of preservation. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics. They are one of the primary reasons that a seemingly common coin can skyrocket in value. The 2004 dime, in particular, has seen its fair share of minting errors. Some of the most valuable 2004 dimes are those that were struck with a double die, meaning that certain features of the design were struck multiple times, causing them to appear doubled or blurry. This error happens when a coin is struck more than once in the same spot, and it can make certain features on the coin appear distorted. One of the most exciting types of error that collectors search for is the double die obverse, DDO, or reverse, DDR. A 2004 dime with this type of error can be extremely valuable, as collectors are always on the lookout for unusual or unique features. A double die error creates a distinctive look, where certain features of the design appear to overlap or repeat, making the coin an instant highlight in any collection. These rare dimes, in pristine condition, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. Another fascinating detail about the 2004 dime is the possible presence of off-center strikes. These occur when the die doesn't align properly during the striking process, causing the coin to be struck off-center, resulting in a coin with a lopsided appearance. Off-center dimes are another type of minting error that attracts collectors, as they are relatively rare and highly sought after for their uniqueness. These dimes are often valued higher than their face value due to their distinct and irregular appearance. Of course, not all 2004 dimes feature errors, and that's where the story of the regular, non-error coins comes in. While they may not have the same minting anomalies that make certain dimes so special, 2004 dimes can still hold significant value, especially those that have been kept in exceptional condition. Coins that are well preserved, free from scratches, marks, or signs of wear, can fetch much higher prices than those that have been heavily circulated. The key to understanding the appeal of coins like the 2004 dime lies in the concept of grading. Coins are graded based on their physical condition, with terms like mint state, uncirculated, and proof being used to describe the overall quality. A 2004 dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, free from fingerprints, scuff marks, or other signs of wear, can be worth significantly more than one that has been through the rigors of daily use.so. What's the actual value of the 2004 dime? In its basic, circulated form, this coin is still worth only 10 cents. However, as we've seen, it's the rare specimens, the ones with minting errors or those in exceptional condition, that can command impressive sums in the market. The 2004 dime, with its minting quirks and well-preserved examples, has been known to reach an incredible value of $104,000 in certain cases. Imagine that, a coin that most people wouldn't give a second thought to could be worth $104,000. That's the magic of the coin collecting world. What may seem like just another dime to the average person can become a rare treasure when the right conditions and the right collector come into play.so. If you happen to come across a 2004 dime, whether it's from your pocket change or a collection you've inherited, take the time to inspect it closely. Could it have one of those rare minting errors? Is it in pristine, uncirculated condition? You never know, you might just have a treasure on your hands, waiting to be discovered. The 2004 USA 1 dime coin is more than just a symbol of currency, it's a piece of history, a reflection of a unique moment in time, and, for some lucky collectors, a pathway to incredible wealth. So, the next time you find a 2004 dime, don't just toss it aside. You may be holding a small but mighty piece of numismatic history.